Hello, this is Dinah Lane from Channel 18 in Harwich, and I'm here today with Valerie Bell of the Harwich Energy and Climate Action Committee of the town.
Good morning.
You are, in fact, the town committee.
We are.
And can you tell me a little bit about what it is that the committee is designed to do?
Right. So we currently we have 5 members. Myself, Jacqueline Pence Green, Charlie Cizek, Glenn Mimiak, and Roseanne Shapiro. We are a town committee, and we are certainly will welcome any other members. If you have an interest in energy, climate change, you can apply through Town Hall and get that done. We meet the second Thursday of every month at 3 p.m. in the small meeting room in Town Hall. Our job is to advise the town. We're a town advisory committee. We don't have a budget. We have no authority to do anything. We're strictly advisory. We advise on energy conservation, assessment of renewable energy for town buildings and municipal places, recommendations for energy conservation, utility expenses, educational outreach for energy and climate change, and we also help review town bylaws with the light of energy conservation and climate change. So those are some of our town mandated roles that we have to do for the town.
How long has the committee been in existence?
Oh gosh, the committee has been around over 20 years. It's had many iterations and many people in and out, but it's been a very important committee.
And there's a lot of change in the climate.
There's a lot of change.
world.
When the committee was first formed, their main goal was just advising on utilities, how to get a good rate for electricity. They were also in charge of cable at that time, like negotiating for a good cable contract for the town. But our role has expanded and gotten a lot more into conservation, efficiency, climate change.
And you have something coming up.
Yeah. In March, we will be sponsoring a Citizens Energy Academy, and that'll be every Tuesday in March from 11 a.m. till noon. There'll be different topics discussed. You don't have to come to all of them. They're all standalone topics, but we'll be covering a lot of things in a lot more depth than we can today. Some of the things that we've done in the past is help the town to become a green community, which is a state-funded program which has allowed the town to access grant money from the state that it would not have been eligible for in the past. Now we also work with CVAC, which is another municipal funded run organization that helps towns do renewable energy projects. So if you go to Cranberry Valley Golf Course, you'll see solar panels on the cart shed and things like that. So very, very busy, very busy. So one of the reasons that I wanted to come and speak to you, Dinah, was there's going to be a big change in our electric rates coming up, mainly starting in January, the January read. Some companies are starting it in the December read, so it really depends on what company you have. So I'm going to use Cape Light Compact as our sort of comparison. So up to December of this year, Cape Light Compact was charging 16.9999 cents per kilowatt hour. Starting in January, it'll be 21.69.
That's quite a hike.
It's quite a hike.
Yes.
But Cape Light Compact is not the only company that will experience a hike. Eversource will also be high. That'll be 25.6. And if you get National Grid electricity, which I don't think anybody does on the Cape, but off Cape, National Grid will be charging 33.8 cents per kilowatt hour. So everybody's going to experience an increase in electricity rates. To put it in perspective, most companies contract every 6 months with an energy provider. So it goes from June to December, then from December to June. Traditionally, the winter is more expensive. So even in the past, even though the rates haven't been quite this high, the winter rates have always been a little higher than the summer rates. So
of course.
we're hoping and expecting that these rates will come down a little bit come June, but
Okay.
they're still going to be high.
Okay. And why are they so high?
Yeah, a lot of people
what's the
ask that
difference?
question. What happened? Why is it going up? In New England, about 50% of our electricity is generated using natural gas. Unfortunately, in New England, that is our peak natural gas usage season because of heating. There's a finite supply of natural gas coming into New England. We haven't put any new pipelines in or anything like that recently. So you have this finite amount of gas coming into the region, and electricity companies and heating customers are competing for that limited resource. So supply and demand, price goes up.
All makes sense.
The other thing are the external things like the war in Ukraine. Everybody knows that sort of put a wrench in all of the energy and many, many other supply chain issues. We are retiring nuclear plants, so they're closed now. They used to be part of the mix. We're also have retired pretty much all the coal-fired electric plants, which is a good thing because they're very
Overall,
polluting,
it's best for the
but it
climate.
also kind of puts us in a little bit of a pinch for who's producing the electricity. So, again, historically, we should expect a little bit lower come June. But those are some of the reasons why it's so high.
And hopefully, as other energy sources get online,
exactly,
it will be less of a problem.
We have
rates
a
will go down.
couple of big wind farms going on a little south of Martha's Vineyard. Now they're a couple of years off, but once they come online, they're going to add to the mix and hopefully reduce energy.
So it's really
costs.
a transition.
It's a transition period, and we kind of have to struggle through it.
But there are things that you have to recommend.
Absolutely,
can do,
absolutely.
Which is a good thing, and this is part of why you're here.
Right.
Okay, great.
And so what can you do to sort of mitigate some of these high prices? The first thing I would recommend for everybody on the Cape is to make sure you have an energy audit. And those are run by Cape Light Compact. You can call or go online to their website and sign up. They're free, and trained people will come to your house. They evaluate your windows, your insulation, your lighting, appliances, your heating system, cooling system. They evaluate everything and can recommend ways to improve to make your home more efficient.
So there's really no reason not to do it.
It's free.
Yep.
Yeah. And depending on your income level, you could get 100% of your insulation covered. Like if your house needed more insulation and you're at a certain income level, you could get it for free. This program is, and people forget this program is also available to renters. You can, if you're a renter, you can call up and get the same.
That's very useful to know.
Same program.
Great.
The other thing, if you are going to replace a refrigerator, for example, or a freezer, or an appliance, a dehumidifier, humidifier,
if
air
you can
conditioner.
find one.
Right. If you're going to replace something, go on Cape Light Compact's website. They have a whole page on rebate offers. So I looked up one just to use an example for our discussion here. And let's suppose, and I'm going to be doing this myself, I have a really old freezer in my basement. It was probably 1970s vintage. It works, but I guarantee it is not energy efficient because they weren't making those things back then. So I can call up Cape Light Compact. They will come and remove it for free. They'll take it out, and they'll hand me $75 towards the purchase of my new one. And of course, I'm going to be looking for an Energy Star, energy efficient replacement appliance. And they have similar programs for all kinds of appliances. So make sure you always buy the most efficient you can afford. And that will help reduce your electricity. So you can do things, you can get your energy audit, you can get more efficient appliances.
You can even get paid.
And you can even get paid to do it. And a lot of the most effective way to keep your house warm in the winter is insulation. And even if you're not income eligible for 100% of it, you can get a lot of it covered by the energy efficiency program. So you would not be paying full price regardless for improving your energy efficiency through insulation. A lot of people say, well, I already had an energy audit. You can get one every single year. You're eligible every single year to get one. So let's suppose,
things can change.
And things can change, right? And so let's suppose they came in and said, oh, you got terrible insulation. You need your whole house done. And you say, well, I can't really afford that right now. You can do part of it this year and then come back next year, get another audit, and do the rest of it.
I see. Okay.
Right. So you don't have to, there's ways to get around all of this.
Yeah.
If you are low income, there are state programs out there to help offset the cost of heating, oil, electricity, gas, and it's called the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program. And you can go on their website and they will have all kinds of ways for you to apply to get help with your energy costs for the winter.
That's great.
And it's not too late. A lot of people, oh, you should have signed up in the fall. Well, still do it. You can still do it today and get on those programs, which will help reduce your
very
energy
helpful.
costs.
Low income home energy assistance program.
Right. I know it's a mouthful, but it's a state program, and I believe the Council on Aging can also help you with that. I think they have applications, and they will be able to walk you through it if you don't really want to do it on your own online. The other things that we want to talk about, now that electricity rates are going up, there are a lot of electric supply companies out there competing for your business. Back in 1997, the state of Massachusetts deregulated electricity. I don't know if you remember, but before that, you had these big companies that ran everything. They were like monopolies. And they made the electricity, they delivered the electricity, they did everything.
Yes.
And then when they were deregulated, it broke up those big monopolies and made it more easier for companies to compete for your business. And that's about when Cape Light Compact came into being, and that's a energy aggregator, which means the towns all got together and they created their own way to bid on electricity to get the best, most fair rate. So that's where Cape Light Compact came from. But it also made it available to for-profit companies. And so I personally have gotten calls and from people asking me about all these companies that are, trying to get you to switch over to their electricity. And the bottom line is in Massachusetts, you are free to choose whatever electric supplier you want.
Right.
It's deregulated. It's up to you.
But there's a blizzard of options.
There are
so
a blizzard of options.
So it's good to have some advice. Yep.
So the bottom line is if you are thinking of switching your electric supplier, and by the way, the only thing that you can switch is your electric supplier, there are many other costs on your bill, which you have no control over. And those are like transmission costs, the wires.
I see.
You can't bid for those. I mean, that's going to cost you the same. Energy efficiency, there's a little, what they call a mill adder, a little tiny amount of money we pay every month to fund all the energy efficiency programs. That won't change. So the only thing you can bid on or change is who supplies you the actual electricity. So a couple of things. Number one, never, ever, ever give out your account number over the phone. There's a lot of scams going on out there. So don't agree to anything over the phone.
If someone calls you.
If someone calls you on the phone and you're interested, just say, hey, could you please send me some information?
Always a good option.
Always a good option. Don't do it over the phone. When you get a contract, read it very, very carefully. Every contract's different. Some are 1 year, some are 2 years. I've even seen 3-year contracts. Now, they may give you a decent price, but you are locked in for 3 years. And if the price comes down...
And if you try to get out, there would be some fee.
Most of these contracts, if you read the fine print, there's a termination fee. and it can be up to $150 to get
So it hardly
out of,
makes it worth it
right.
to try to get
Well, I mean, you really, really have to think about it
ahead of time.
ahead of time.
Uh-huh.
So be careful of long-term contracts. Be careful of giving out your account number over the phone. Make sure you have a paper document in front of you that you can read at your leisure, and make sure you understand the fine print. If you find a better, cheaper company, you are absolutely within your right to change. Just do it with an informed decision. You know, don't just jump at the best offer that you you see. If you have any questions, you can call Cape Light Compact. What makes them different is they're nonprofit. They're not in it to make any money. They are run by the towns.
And they've been vetted by the towns.
Right. I mean, they are the towns. Every town has a person that they have sitting on the board of Cape Light Compact. I sit on the board for Harwich. Every single town, including Martha's Vineyard, has a person that sits on that board. So the town is the one who makes all the decisions. So we are.
It's really good to know.
We're vetted, you know.
And they don't require a contract, is that right?
Never.
And there's no
contract,
fee if you decide to leave?
No fee to join, no fee to leave,
Great.
no contract to sign.
Wonderful.
And they update their rates every 6 months. So, and they're very transparent with it.
Okay.
They also run our energy efficiency program.
I see.
So they are definitely invested in Cape Cod and
That's wonderful.
And the people that live here. So I always recommend you start with Cape Light Compact. You may find a better deal, and you may want to move. If you do sign up for a different company besides Cape Light Compact, and you want to come back, you have to physically pick up the phone and ask to come back. It won't be automatic.
Well, that makes sense.
So you do have to
let them know.
You have to let them know.
Yes. Okay. Yep.
So
well, this is all very, very useful information. It's very helpful to know.
Well, hopefully, forewarned is forearmed, and hopefully people will understand when they get their bills. Be prepared for it. Have a plan. Get an energy audit.
Right.
You know, try to reduce your consumption.
Yeah.
And if you are confused about energy companies, Cape Light Compact can walk you through it.
That sounds great. Wonderful resource. So this is very helpful. I appreciate your coming on to tell us about this. And I know you have many other topics that your committee deals with, and you may want to come back and
I would love to come back.
Share the wisdom with our group again. So
thank you.
Thank you so much for coming, Valerie. Yeah. This is Dinah Lane from Channel 18. Thank you so much.